And I think it's why I make so much money and why I have so many amazing clients, because I see and understand them, and it builds trust with my clients before I even work with them. They trust me to help them because they know that I understand them. And that's how you should make your potential clients feel too. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hi queens, welcome back to the frickin' podcast. I'm so happy to have you here as always. We are coming up in the last 2 months of the year, but it really is just the beginning. Or you can decide that it is and choose to work with me in one-to-one coaching. I have spots open right now. And one-to-one coaching is for you if you're a coach or service provider who is ready to create those 5-figure months on repeat. You want your content to be highly converting and come straight from your soul without mincing your words or holding back. You want to be visible and feel confident being seen on a bigger level that calls in more opportunities. And you want to overcome the imposter syndrome and the mindset blocks that are coming up for you at this current level so you can transcend them and get to your next level. I have a couple options for one-to-one coaching, so send me a DM at your coach Jill or hit the link in my show notes to fill out the application there. And now let's get into the episode, which is part 2 of the best questions from my clients in Voxer. You guys loved this first part. It had a ton of downloads and I repurposed it as an Instagram post and it was really well received. So I'm excited to do the second part for you guys. The first piece of wisdom that I have to share from coaching my clients in Voxer was from a one-to-one client who shared a limiting belief that she had that people couldn't afford her services, which is such a common belief to have, right? Especially when we charge high ticket for our services. And here's how I answered her. There's nothing wrong with this belief for 2 reasons. The first reason was in support of her not lowering her prices because you want to feel compensated for the work that you do. The reason why I raise my prices is because that is the amount that I feel compensated for the services that I'm delivering. And it's a price that I feel like I am truly delivering in equal value to what I am receiving in income. If you're charging super low, it might create more clients, but it will leave you feeling resentful. I know that for a fact. You're also less likely to sell if it's lower ticket and you don't want it to be low ticket because again, you'll feel resentful and like you're not being compensated for what you're delivering. And the second reason why I said there's nothing wrong with this belief is because everybody shouldn't be able to afford your services. That's the whole fucking point of charging high ticket. Not only are you raising your standards for what you want to be compensated for and what you believe your work is valued at, but you are also raising the standard for who gets to be in your world. This client in particular had people asking her for student discounts, and she also had the evidence of making a lot of money when she first started out, but it was because she was pricing her services super low. And this is where you have to be okay with a little bit of a void, a little bit of a stopgap, where you have to be okay with less clients, less immediate and instant gratification, because when you raise your prices, while you may have less clients, they will be way better fits and they will be paying you more. And the quality of your clients is the fucking quality of your life. Hearing this lifted so much stress off my shoulders and relieved me of any remnants of guilt that I had for charging what I wanted to charge and not just taking anybody into my world or making my prices affordable. Your work is of high service, bitch, and not everyone will be able to afford you, and that's okay. That's the point. You want to feel compensated for the work that you're doing and the work that you did to provide your clients with the value that you're providing them with. And you want them to be quality clients who are making your experience of being a coach or an OSP enjoyable. You didn't start a business to feel like you need to escape from it or that you don't enjoy the clients that you're working with. I'm not saying it's always going to be easy and fun, but you are allowed to decide what clients you take and who you work with. Okay, now let's get into the second piece of coaching that I did through Voxer. And this was a question from one of my mastermind clients in the Fraud Squad, which is opening up next month, hint, hint. And she was saying how a block that she's always had with manifesting is manifesting through her business. She has so much evidence of manifesting through her husband, manifesting opportunities, manifesting a big, beautiful life, but an area that she's always struggled with is manifesting through her business. And I absolutely love coaching on this shit because I truly believe that unworthiness creates blocks, and this is a place where my client was feeling blocked. And I shared that this signified to me that there isn't trust in herself to manifest through her business, and that's why it was flowing through other open channels like her husband. This has everything to do with her own unworthiness around receiving for her services and through her offers, as well as not trusting herself with receiving. And this was an amazing lesson to get back to the basics, to journal or hash out your beliefs and your thoughts and begin really looking at your beliefs and the stories behind them so you can clean them up. In this case, this client has done this in so many other ways that has allowed her to manifest, and now she just simply needs to do it for her business and her offers so they can become open channels that she can receive through. It's really that simple. It's not always easy work, the belief work and the releasing limiting beliefs work, but it can be simple to go back to the basics, look at your beliefs and what stories are causing them, and then doing the work to release them. Because at the end of the day, your beliefs about what you can have and what you'll do with it once you have it are going to determine what flows through your business. If you create an offer, that's great. Potential clients have somewhere to go. But if you don't believe you can handle clients, or that you don't have time for them, or that you won't be able to help them, or that you're not good enough to help them, that channel will remain blocked and you won't allow yourself to receive through it. Hey guys, I hope you're loving today's episode. I am just taking a brief pause in today's episode to share with you a client testimonial. These testimonials are either from group coaching clients or clients who are in my one-to-one coaching program. And I can't wait for you to hear how I have changed their lives and their businesses for the better.
Got so much out of our time together. I feel like I dug so much deeper into pieces of myself I didn't even know were there. And I was able to move through what honestly was a very difficult time in my business in a way that kept me above water, which looking back, where I am now to where I was when I first started working with Jill, I don't know if I would have really survived, these last few months and ended up really flourishing. And now, though I miss our one-to-one sessions so deeply, talking to Jill honestly was probably one of the most highlight moments of my weeks when we had our one-to-one sessions. But now I have this entire bank of amazing resources that I come back to every single day to help me set up myself and my business for success and make sure that I'm just continuously working on my mindset. And I have so much love and gratitude for all the work that Jill does. And if you do decide to work with her, you will absolutely not regret it.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Now let's get back to the episode. And even if you do receive through it, it might not be at the level that you truly desire. Receiving through your business and through your offers is just seeing them as other channels that you can receive from. And just like through your partner, through your job, etc., it is the very fact that you believe you can receive through them that makes it possible for you. And then lastly, I coached another client in the mastermind, the Fraud Squad, in this fucking long ass voice note because I was driving. I was on the way to, I think it was my eyebrow appointment or something like that. And I went on a tangent. It was 14 minutes long. And I was talking about something that I do that is just as powerful as talking to the result. I coached a client on being scary specific when it comes to the person you are speaking to their experience, the thoughts that they're having, the things that they really want. And I don't mean generic ideal client avatar shit that we all learned in 2020. If you consume any of my content, you know that I usually say exactly what a lot of you guys are thinking. And I get that comment all the time. The typical Jill, it feels like you're in my head kind of comment, because early on I realized how powerful it is to see your words in text or coming out of somebody else's mouth. How validating it is to your experience, how it immediately connects you to the person, makes you feel understood and like they can help you because they understand you. I heard a quote once, and I think it was like, being heard feels a lot like being loved. And in this case, being understood can feel a lot like being loved, because that's all we want as humans, to be seen and understood. And I think it's why I make so much money and why I have so many amazing clients, because I see and understand them, and it builds trust with my clients before I even work with them. They trust me to help them because they know that I understand them. And that's how you should make your potential clients feel too. I actually had a client say that they're afraid to get too specific, but actually you need to get specific with your stories, with your examples, with the exact words and thoughts that are in your client's head, because when you do, the subconscious mind of your client will immediately turn it into something that it can relate to. Even if they can't exactly relate to your example, the subconscious will extract something from their experience so they can relate. Case in point, I talk about my stutter a lot in my content. And I always have people reach out and say how much they relate and how moved they feel by my content when I speak about it, even though not one of these people have a stutter. They just apply it to their own feelings of isolation, of feeling left out, of feeling special, of feeling like a weirdo, and they apply it to themselves. So no, don't be afraid of being specific when you're marketing to your ideal client and helping them identify themselves as your ideal client. Because if they're a good fit for your offer and they want to work with you, their subconscious will do the work for them in applying themselves and their lives and what they're experiencing to what you are explaining to them. All right, guys, that's part 2 of the best questions in Voxer. And exciting news, if you missed the last launch of my mastermind, the Fraud Squad, we are going to be enrolling for the January 2024 round in November. It's my 4-month mastermind where coaches and OSPs unfilter themselves so they can be seen for who they truly are, unfilter their content, get visible as fuck, and feel worthy of and create 5-figure months. I fucking love this mastermind. It is always the most accepting, open, life-changing space, and it's because of the women inside and the fact that it is the only space on the internet where we openly talk about imposter syndrome so we can let it the fuck go and step into our power. So the waitlist is at the link in my show notes, loves. You can sign up for the waitlist where you'll get $111 off the investment of $333. So the mastermind doesn't start until January in terms of the calls, but as soon as you join in November, you'll get access to the curriculum, and I'm hosting a content party in December so you can get your content locked and loaded for 2024 before we begin calls in January. Again, the waitlist for that is at the link in my show notes, and I'll see you guys in November. Thanks so much for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Head to the show notes to learn how you can work with me, where you can buy my best-selling book, You're Not Special, and how to get on my email list for free. Screenshot this episode and add it to your Instagram stories, tagging me at Your Coach Jill. See you next time.